Hi, welcome back. It's Laura at Hyperstamper. This is a book that I have had for a long time, and I just was having a hard time coming to the fact that I had to part with it someday. And so it's time. It's time to say goodbye to this book, and it can say hello to somebody new. It was a very, very thin spine. So I had to remove the spine and reconstruct it to give it some width so I could fit in all of these wonderful signatures. And this is a big one. This is 7 across by 10. That's a really big journal. It's almost twice as big as most of my journals, which I could fit 2 of here, I believe. So it's huge. So let me take you on a little journey of this 1929 beautiful book, Jolly Summer Days, and how perfect as we're closing in at the end of a wonderful summer, and you can, have this as a remembrance of all the wonderful summers past and the ones ahead. So inside here, of course, is just everything authentic, antique, and there are some really cool pieces in here. I'll give you a little sneak peek. Whoop. And just some things that you're going to be tickled pink at seeing. And some of them, I'm sure, for some of us will be wonderful trips down memory lane. So this is the original inside cover of the book, and it has its little plate here. And this was a gift from the principal of a school to a wonderful little lady, dear little Marilyn, and for efficiency and politeness. I just love it. And you can see it was inscribed at the end of the school year. So the publication date is down here, 1929. And this is I just love everything in here. So this is another one of these wonderful quad pockets that I've made. And these are some of those wonderful Connie Francis paper doll cutouts. And these would have been fussy cut, and whoever did it, Mom, good job, really good job. So they're just fun pieces there. Look at that, how fun is that? This is an antique set of stamps there that I just tucked in. You can turn it into clusters or have fun with that. And then a beautiful little vintage mini card from the 50s and vintage Monopoly money that you can journal on the back of as well. So that's just a really fun little page. I really got to play with the length of this because I have some really big and wide pieces that don't fit into some of the smaller books I have. Now this here is an 1890s Watchman Guard dial. And this is a vintage map here, and you can journal all inside here. And then this is a wonderful birthday card to a mother. Again, more of that wonderful foiling that if you follow me, I love, especially because this one is almost antiqued. It's really cool. And then we've got this beautiful image inside, lovely message to mother, and you can journal on the inside of that and the back as well. You can see the remnants of where I pulled it out of a scrapbook. That is from the 1940s, by the way. And then that's a really fun vintage page there. And this is about 100-year-old plate book from, it's like a souvenir booklet from Quebec. And this here is from 1938. It's a little brittle, and I'll warn the new owner, if that were to snap off, I would just sacrifice this page here and glue it down. Just because I tried my best to glue it down, but just be gentle. This was a painting booklet. So the children bought the booklet blank and they would paint. Look how pretty they did a little job here. They did such a great job. So I just think that's magical. Over here as well, you can see they painted outside the lines here. Just fantastic. This is from a vintage spice thingy booklet. God, oh dear. Another vintage pocket down here. And this is wonderful from a 1953 Movies magazine. And this is all about this movie star they're trying to do a spread on what a great family man he is, flying a kite with his little girls there. There we go. And then this is from 1932 from Paris, France Almanac. There weren't many full color plates, but this is one of them. And I just think it is wonderful. Just terrific. This fella here is not feeling well. This is a spine of an antique book. And then this is a really great early 1900s plate as well. A Western scene there. Throwing him the lasso. Saved his life. And this is the actual burn mark from an antique book. You'll see me using these pages all week, and I love it. Probably too close to a fireplace when they had to read by fire and lanterns. Now this here is one of my favorite advertisements. Look at this, cornflakes, and this is from 1926. Dates up here, but look at that, Post Toasties cornflakes. Now this is a British magazine, so it's really fun to see how they call things different names than we do. Look how wonderful that is. At least I think this one is. Oh, it might not be. Delineator might be American. My apologies. I can find out. There we go. I just love the colors. I love everything about that. Love the little milk bottle. This is another one here from 1956. And this is from the Illustrated London Times News. And just really cool articles. And again, this is, look at this glamorous movie star here in a play. Just really fun little bits of history from 70 years ago. Where did this come from? Yep, it came from here. There we go. And I made this fun cluster page here to give it some width. That is an early 1900s, I think 1905-ish English garden page. And this is a 1937 5-year diary page. I use these a lot. Well, I guess because they're double-sided, so I've put 180 of them. This is another wonderful 1920s children's book page that I added vintage paper to the back of. Oh, I forgot to glue this one in. This I found on the back of a book. Little bunny here, so I'll glue him in a second. Then this is a fabulous 1910 postcard with a message on it. Look at that. Oh, it's such a pretty scene. You can't get any better than that. A farm, a little mill here, a little dam. It's wonderful. There's a little fella down here with his suit and hat on a farm. This is from an early 1900s palmistry book, Palm Reading, The Hand of Sir Frederick Leighton. You can journal on the back of that. I just think those are so interesting. This here is really fun. I love how it's aged naturally and has all the kitchen stains on it, but it's from Minneapolis, Minnesota, from a cookbook. Isn't that great? Sarasota cookbook. And then this here is from the cover of a giant geography book, and I thought you could journal on the back of that or just have fun with that. Think of all the things you could do with that. You can even peel it down. The corner there is split. You could peel that down to make it thinner. I like it just the way it is, so I'll let the new owner have fun doing anything. And you know what? If you do something fun with it, send me a picture. Put it in the comments below. This here is another vintage piece from 1959 from the Ideals magazine for journaling. And this is an 1850s school architect book. That's how to make a furnace for a school. Big deal back in the 1800s to have a furnace in a school. And this is a beautiful French countryside plate here. Look at the sepia tones of that. That's all natural. I just love it. This is really cool. This is a part of a letter, 2 pages of a letter. I've put some different pages in other journals this week. It's just lovely. The script is beautiful. The cursive is lovely. The message is lovely. And it's almost on this, it's almost a vellum-like tissue. It's really beautiful writing paper. So that's very, very special. Now this, I know, what is this doing in here? It is vintage. It's from the 70s. I Googled it. And it's the Cheese Whiz idea book. I ate a lot of Cheese Whiz in the 70s, so I can appreciate this. And I just thought it was hilarious. You don't have to keep it in there, but it's pretty fun. So there we go. Do you have Cheese Whiz in America? I think you do. This here is Lucy Gray, and I put antique paper on the back, and this is from the 1890s. Just a really beautiful poem there. This is from 1887 Chatterbox, the game Blind Man's Bluff, where they put a little blindfold on the fella and then sort of play a hide and go seek kind of thing. Sort of like Marco Polo without the water. And this is more of that architecture on how to build children's desks and chairs. That's an inkwell. First I thought it was a toilet. It is not. It's an inkwell. Don't mix those two up. Look at that. Look at how beautiful this is. I just love it. I'm speechless to how much I love this book. This is an original plate from this book that I wanted to leave in the book. Look at the color on this. That is, oh, you can actually tear this out if you want and put it under glass, put it in a children's room, an almost 100-year-old plate, as colorful as the day it was found. And the little fella here says the stones read Jack in the garden. So I love that. Here's the 1959 piece of the sticker book for children on nature. It's a beautiful page. And then this is a little booklet I made out of all of my cutoffs and antique papers. And this little pocket here is made from a 1927 My Book House page. More of that architecture. Here is a from New Zealand. Oh, that's very cool. About 1930s. That one. Look at the great writing on there. Postage markings. And here is the pièce de résistance. This does have value. I checked it. It ranges anywhere from 18 US up to 30, depending on who's sending it. But yeah, there you go. Ringo Starr, The Beatles. And that is an early publication, probably late 50s, early 60s. Pretty cool, right? Remember the Beatles? Oh my gosh. So here we go. This is a great magazine page here, also this is also from that movie magazine page, actually. So that's from 1953. Another wonderful children's book page here from the 30s. Fun cluster. And that is an 1850s engraving. And here's another one of these early 1900s game cards from oh my gosh, what's it called? The Lone Heir. The Lost Heir. The Lost Heir. Really cool. That was the Chicago Sergeant card. And then this is a little journaling card I made from a 1920s school book page. And then this tag here is made from another vintage hardcover book. 1940s Theater Arts, another antique stamp. And this is from an early 1900s Birds of America. Look at that. This is a beautiful page of warblers. Oh, just lovely. You get so many great things in this journal. I'm actually going through going, I was just trying to find large things, and all of my large things are really spectacular. Here's another gorgeous plate from the Billy Whiskers book. Look at that. Oh my Lord, just stunning. Stunning. I didn't have to cut any of it off. That made me so happy. A vintage Wildflowers of America page. Here's a great magazine page. Look at this. Captivating Stranger. And this is from 1953. Look at these mod retro. Oh my gosh, the designs are amazing. I think this is all coming back, right? So that's pretty cool. Even the coloring of it is amazing. Now this is an 1899 newspaper that was so brittle I had to lay it down on top of sticker paper. So that's why there is sticker paper on the back, so you could journal on there. But you can also cut it up and use it any way you like. Another wonderful little page here from a children's book from the 40s. And this is another page from this book, so 1929. And on the back here, this came from a 1930s honeymoon scrapbook. And again, I was able to almost fit it in this book. But these are some of the spots that this couple stopped in Massachusetts. So that's very cool. And that is from the 1950s Things to Make and Do book. Vintage ledger sheet from the 60s. And this is a piece of vintage stationery. I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but there's an embossed Victorian woman on there. And look how cool is this. This was another hard one to part with. It's 1940s. These are, you've seen me use these quite a bit, but this is the whole package here, one of the many that I have. And inside is one of the original patterns from this package, and it's an iron-on of pansies. And I know people go crazy for vintage and antique pansy images. So there you go. How fun is that? And that, yeah, again, that also has some value. You can check that out. And those are from that wonderful 1920s Word Games for School Children. This is from 1950. That is a prepaid, what would they have called it? A business card. You would have put a message on just for business to send it through. So prepaid envelopes. Do we still have those? I don't think we do. There's a 1950s Ragged Ann page. And that brings us to the end. This is the actual back page of the book, glued down. You don't see that very often. And that's a full color page as well. So I hope you love it as much as I absolutely adored making this one. Hyperstamper.etsy.com. Come back soon, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye for now.